Camera won't see that, will it? So we starting?
Yeah, hold on. I'm just.
He said it. He said it.
What did they say at all, did I?
No, I'm just trying to. Oh no,
He said it.
I've
He said it.
I've caused a problem. Hold on.
He said it.
Boggle.
Let's get to...
Right, I think that was just a wee technical issue that I noticed in the last episode, but it's sorted and I'm on top of it.
What was it you done?
Just like if I pressed the button and then stopped it like halfway through the sound, so if I went
He said it.
and stopped it there,
Aye.
and there's a bit more, it was if I pressed it again, it was continuing from where it stopped.
All right.
So it was just a wee noise at the end where I've set it now so that if I stop it, it starts it again.
All right. God, fucking technical shit,
This
man.
is stuff you don't understand goes into this podcast.
Fucking don't tell me. I can learn that. Fuck this.
See my-
Bullied again.
See my, oh, here he goes again. See my bloody Sunday night sitting, spending, editing this thing. Having
Aye.
to watch myself.
They need to show
Talking
me.
shite.
They show me what you're doing. They take it. We'll do like a podcast to you edit the podcast. Like do like a fucking
And then we'll do a podcast of me editing the podcast, editing the podcast.
aye. That'd be like a fucking
Editception.
editception. Aye.
I don't think I've gotten to pull you up on at the start of this episode. Maybe it's because we recorded the last episode an hour ago and you've...
No, it was last week.
Oh, of course, yes. A week has passed. We've not changed clothes.
No, I put this jumper back on. I took my jumper off because I've been wearing this jumper in a
aye,
load of podcasts.
you've done a thing for continuity. What should I do?
Aye, that's what we do. So this is a
new
week
week,
later.
new me.
This is a week later. So my gigs happened, didn't it?
The Saturday one's happened.
The time missed because my gig was amazing. I got 100 people in. You missed out. You didn't buy a ticket, so fuck you. Most people, 100 did.
Kevin Bridges turned up.
Kevin Bridges turned up.
He opened for you and then he offered you a support slot, didn't he?
Aye.
On his next
no,
tour.
he offered. He says, I'm doing a tour and I'm not quite ready yet. Do you want to
Do the tour.
do the tour? I'll just be your support.
Aye. And then he said to me, he was like, oh, I seen you did a gig at the Tenants Bar. You should come and do a wee
Aye.
opening as well.
Aye. And that was good. Aye. And what else happened? I paid us like £1 million on just to kind of secure the booking.
All right.
It was like, there's £1 million.
Are you still driving the Clio? Or have
Aye,
you bought
aye.
a Ferrari now?
Nah, I'm just driving the Clio, man. I'm not like a dick. I'm not like fucking. I don't think I'm better than anybody.
Have you at least bought a new windscreen wiper for your Clio?
Nah.
He was driving here today. It's pissing down, and he got here and he told me
Last Thursday.
last Thursday. But it was the last time you drove here because you stayed here the whole week.
Aye, we stayed here a week.
His wiper was wiping and doing that, but it wasn't up against the window wiping anything.
It was
So it was
like-
just flapping in thin air.
It was arched just a wee bit. So I had to bend it in so I could see.
Oh, so was it like wiping at the bottom and the top, but in the middle where you need
Aye,
to
so
see?
the two wipers, so the left hand side.
Oh, two wipers.
Fucking posh, right? So the left hand side of my screen was all clear.
The bit that you're not sitting at
The,
and it doesn't
the bit-
matter.
Aye, so the bit that I'm driving was just all rain. So I had to get out and I had to bend it so that actually. So I don't know what's going on with the mechanic bit. There's something's happened there. Still works, but I had to bend it in.
There
So
you
it's a
go.
wee bit missed. I maybe need to get it looked at with a window wiper guy,
Technician.
a window wiper technician. So what we're doing, Chris? This is like this is.
Well,
You can tell me this week what
okay.
we're doing.
Well, we talked last week about bringing the podcast back to its roots.
Aye, the fuck it list.
Back to our fuck it list roots.
So last week we spoke about ayahuasca. So this week which was a fuck it for me.
That was a fuck it for you. The last few episodes before that were guests and interviewee type things. But we've obviously I spent the last couple of months doing a fuck it of my own, which was the workshop, and that led to
The
the
first gig,
first gig.
the first
So
stand-up
that's a
gig.
tick off my fuck it
Aye.
list. And I will get to doing more comedy gigs at
Aye.
some point. I've got a busy couple of weeks coming up, but after sort of April I'm going to look to get back into
Get
it.
some gigs.
But now it's your turn.
It's my turn.
So
So it was
Yes.
episode 1 or one of the early episodes.
I think so, aye. It's one of the first.
So he decided he was doing stand-up. So that's been accomplished. Ticked it off. Fucking ticked it off. And now I'm going to learn the guitar and do an open mic gig tonight. Well,
Tonight.
so I tried to learn the guitar a wee bit a few years ago,
Right.
and I learned to do what was the song again? It was Wild Thing with the Trogs.
Let,
So I
me,
could
let me stick it on just to remind myself.
Wild
To see
Thing.
what we're working with.
So I could play that badly. So I could do that wee bit. I couldn't do the extra wee bit there, but I could do that.
Okay.
So I learned that song a wee bit, but it's gone now. It's gone.
So do you want to relearn that, or do you have another song in mind you want to do?
I don't know, man. What?
I think you should go for another one, because that, if you learn that again, it'll take you back to being like that, and you'll be like, "Is this all guitar?"
Aye.
Learning
So,
this one.
so what's a good one? Like I was going to go Oasis, but you don't like Oasis, so we'll not do that.
Well, if that's what you want,
But you'd hate me, wouldn't you?
I do hate all Oasis fans. No,
You hate Oasis fans, fuck's sake! That's half of my fan base. Well, there's only 2 of them, but
that's one guy.
one guy.
I'm trying to think.
A Beatles man.
A Beatles one. It would need to be a sort of early Beatles one when they were sort of more simple rock and roll before they got into the.
How
the
I can't
psychedelics.
handle the psychedelic
Or
shit.
do you want to jump straight into Strawberry Fields Forever?
Is that doable?
Well, technically, but it will take you some learning instead of a nice wee simple rock and roll 3-chord song.
Was it doable? But
It's going to take a lot longer.
like, how long would it take to be able to learn that?
Oh, I don't even know it.
Right, but I mean, you're a guitar player though.
Aye, but
so
it's not even one of these songs. Like most normalish songs I can listen to and be like, all right, okay, that's that chord, and this is this, and
Aye.
I'll figure it out. But songs like Strawberry Fields are fucking
because you figure it out.
psychedelic and weird. I could figure it out, but you're not learning that for your first song.
He shat it there.
Right, pick,
Stairway to Heaven.
throw some Beatles songs at me. What, the full solo and everything?
Aye.
Jimmy Page in it on your
Is
first
that
go?
too hard as well? Right. It's probably like simple ones. Beatles. Hey Jude. That used to be my karaoke song.
Yeah, that's doable.
Right, let's do that because that was like, see when the years ago when I done karaoke and I was a shite singer by the way, so I was shite. But Hey Jude was my karaoke song.
Some would argue that Paul McCartney's a shite singer now. I would not, and
What, now?
I still love him. Yeah.
Well, I've heard him recently. He was in my house singing. I was like, Paul, fuck off. He was at my door singing for money.
Busking and Moody's, man.
He was like, Hey Jude. He said like that.
You're the wrong way around. He's a lefty.
Oh, aye. I can't even. I couldn't do that there.
I struggle to. I can't even.
I don't know how to. So I done that there. So it's like that. I can't do that. That feels weird. So that. That's fucked up, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I need to keep an eye on that camera. I've emptied the memory card, but it still says it's only got 47 minutes of time.
Is that something you need to check? Or?
It will go for 47 minutes. I'll check it when we get close, and I might need to.
All right, we can have a wee transfer finish it. We can have the fact he can edit shit. This guy can press buttons and edit shit.
Imagine.
Amazing.
Who's gonna carry the boats?
And he can carry boats as well, apparently. and he was one of the best pickers in fucking Gist.
No, I was quite famously low down the list.
See, I can mention Gist now. Right, do you know I got in trouble years ago? We worked at Gist in Cumbernauld, the warehouse called Gist. Cumbernauld, it was Marks and Spencer's warehouse. It was called Gist.
Do you remember we discussed stories that we've told in the podcast before?
Aye.
Was this about the wee video you did?
I did me. Aye, so like, so I done a video about Gist, and I mentioned it. The manager
Aye.
tell me to delete it, and I get
ago.
sacked. Did me? Aye, well, I can mention Gist as often as I want. It was a shithole.
I've used them again. Remember last week I had to bleep, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, I had to bleep Thor when he told us the comedian that he went to see and he wasn't
Aye.
impressed. I used it again to bleep over his mouth. The Just logo.
Oh, did you use it? Aye,
So, shall we
aye,
do a wee edit cut here and then we'll come back with some guitars?
aye. Doc, can you not just bring them over?
No, I'm going to click my fingers and then.
Right, let's do it. Click your fingers after 3. Right, 1, 2,
2,
3. The fuck's this? Right, Kris, do it again.
Click!
There, yeah, it's worked.
Well, we got there in the end.
We got there. What the fuck happened there?
Some kind of alternate universe
Was that
issues.
was that like a flashback for that ayahuasca episode we did last week? Weird shit's happened.
Is that what you were wearing? A wee cowboy hat and nothing else?
Well, I don't know, man. It fucking felt good, but I felt that's the real me there. I think the real me came out there for a couple of seconds.
All that was missing was a wee bit of like straw hanging out your
Aye,
mouth.
no, we'll not do it again.
I can't remember what song we picked. Hey Jude.
Hey Jude.
We're going in the key of A, I think. Hey Jude.
I don't even know what that means.
Just get guitars on. Shows what you've got. Your guitar's on.
Right. Well, I've got a plectrum, haven't I?
Beautiful.
See, I can't even remember how to do any of the things. So I'm going for a complete beginner again. Sorry, I banged it again.
We're going to have issues here. I'm going to need to give you a bubble wrapped guitar.
I know.
Bring your own guitar next time.
I will bring my own guitar. I was going to bring it.
What am I looking for here? Hey Jude. Chords.
Hey Jude by the Beatles. If you've not heard of the Beatles, Google it.
A kind of young and up and coming band out of Liverpool.
Aye, what have they done? They've done fuck all for years, haven't they? They had a couple of gigs. They had a couple of hits in the 60s and then they've done nothing.
You don't hear much of them these days.
Nah. Somebody stood on to them.
We're in the key of F, actually.
We're in the key of F. What the fuck's he talking about?
Right, I'm not going to teach you the key of F because that's an awkward key to play your first song in. So I'm going to say, learn it in.
What does this mean? Let's see when you say learn it in an F. What does that mean?
So,
I don't know what this means. I just thought guitars were set up the way they're set up and that's it.
well, they are, but like, so that song is in the key of F, right?
What does that mean?
It means this is an F, right? This chord. And when you listen to the song, this would sound, Hey Jude, don't make it.
Right, hold on, right. So say when you, right, I'm a music idiot, right?
Right.
So what did you do to your guitar to change? So see, is an F just a no accord you play on a normal guitar?
Yeah.
So you says you play it in F. What does that mean? Is that those?
It just means the root note, the root chord of the song, which is the sort of chord that the song is built around.
Right.
Is
that
an
the
F.
mostly played note in it?
Usually, I'm not that down on my music theory either. I've got I'm got a certain level of education in music, but I was never too good at the theory. As it happens, we're talking about Paul McCartney here, who famously doesn't know music theory, and sort of
The real Paul McCartney is dead.
whatever do you mean?
Did you hear that? There's a theory like
I'm well aware. I just wanted to hear the story.
All right, no, apparently he's dead. He died in the 60s, and they got a new Paul McCartney to replace him.
Billy Shears.
Is that his name?
Yeah, because in the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, they sing the So let me introduce to you the one and only Billy Shears. And apparently that's them saying, welcome, the new guy.
All right. It's a new Paul. I'm actually right. Obie died last week as well. So I'm a new guy.
What's your name?
George Harrison.
Rings a bell. Anyway, so Hey Jude is in the key of F, and that sounds like this. Right? That's an F chord.
Right.
So that means this is the thing. But as I say, that's a bit of an awkward chord to learn as your first chord when you're learning a song. So an easier key to learn a song in would be D, right? So I'm going to change where you would play an F in the original song, and then you would go C. I'm going to change it to D. That's called transposing, right? Changing keys.
Right, Google a lot of shit when I go home.
So this is a D.
Right.
It's a slightly out of tune D, right enough. Hang on.
See, a lot of this is going to right out of my head.
I'm not much of a music teacher.
No. It's like, it'd be like if I done my comedy workshop and taught you a lot of theory, and I'd be like, right.
Aye.
But rather than doing it, which we're going to do.
Well, this is my version of you getting everyone up on the mic and trying stuff. So I'm going to teach you Hey Jude and D. Let me have a quick try of it. Right. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better.
So you see, the guy's good. I wish he just
remember to let her into your heart, and then you can start to make it better.
Boy's good, isn't he?
Da, 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 da.
Did they talk about bananas for two? Nah.
Ba, na, 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 na.
They do that for ages, don't they?
That was the wrong chord. Na, 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 na.
So
should be a C.
So do you? See, for a song, so it takes you a wee while just to work out.
Depends on the song. This is a fairly simple song that's like based around sort of 3 or 4 chords, not too thingy.
Aye.
But when you get into later Beatles stuff, like I was saying, see when they went all psychedelic and they start playing very strange chords, that's much harder to sort of pick up by ear.
Aye. But simple stuff you can do then.
Aye.
I'm not saying you can only do the simple stuff.
I am.
Alright. But you can play the more complicated stuff with a bit of practice.
Aye.
So what do I need to do?
I'm going to teach you a D chord to start with, okay? So a D. Now, this would be helpful if we were sitting closer to each other. But
I know.
So, are you familiar with frets?
I know what. A wee bit. I know.
So these
frets are they bits, aren't they?
Yeah, these metal strips that go along the neck, right? So
I've heard the strings. What are they?
Strings are like what you tie your shoes with.
I've got slip-ons because I can only do slip-ons.
Right, don't get us cancelled.
Sometimes I don't wear shoes. Not even got my trousers on today.
Right. So, these metal things are called frets, right?
Right.
As a young boy, I used
so
to
these
think...
bits, the actual metal bits are called
Yeah.
frets. Aye.
Now, I used to think as a young boy they were called threats.
What are you talking to?
The first threat, I will better be the fucking last.
Are you threatening me?
Threatening. So, these are threats, right? So, you'll see along the top, you've got wee dots.
Could the camera see all the threats in mine?
No, well, it's behind the table, but we're pretty close. We're pretty close. Right, don't move too much. You're going to bang my guitar off.
I'm not
the
going
table.
to bang your guitar.
So,
I'm going to do rock and roll and wreck it after the podcast.
you can buy a new one.
Right.
These wee dots along the top are just to help you.
What dots? These dots?
No, along the top as you're looking at it. Just hold it as you would with the front facing away from you.
All
There's
right.
dots along the top.
Up here.
Yeah.
Right.
So these are just to sort of help you as you're holding it like this. Visualise where you are.
All right.
So
okay.
you've got a dot.
Has all guitars got them?
Yeah.
I've never noticed that before. See, that's good.
Is yours too covered in dust to see them?
No, it's not. No, I will have them, but because I learned the song from online.
Aye.
But because you're here and I can ask you questions, that'll make a difference.
Yeah.
Right. Good.
So like if I said to you play the first string on the third fret, you would play that.
Right.
So that when I say first string, right, you're starting from the bottom.
Right. Okay.
So that starts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, working
Right,
from
okay.
the bottom up to you. So if I say
So
first,
see when you play a fret, you're playing it just before the metal bit in you.
yeah, pretty much. Just
Aye,
before.
that's what it. If it's too far back.
When you're an early kind of learner, it is a bit easier to maybe be right in the middle because it's a wee bit less kind of pressure on your fingers and it's a bit easier to sort of land between.
I'm getting wee digs in my fingers
Yeah,
already.
I am too, to be fair, because I've not played in ages.
Aye.
Aye, so I'll do a wee test, right? If I
Right.
say first string, third fret, you're going to be there, right? If I said, for example, third string, fifth fret, where would you go?
Yeah.
Yes. And just do that one string that you're on.
So then you find it. So you can go there on that one.
Yeah, we're not quite in tune with each other, but that's okay.
I'm not in tune with anybody. That's my problem.
Right, hold on. Actually, this will annoy me in the edit. Just play me that string. If
That's not.
Yep.
See that shows you've got an ear for music that I haven't, because I couldn't tell the difference.
So if you play the second string for me.
Second, aye.
To you, does that sound like they're not quite the same as each other? Well, they are actually pretty close, to be fair. I've done that. We'll come back to that another time.
Aye. Does it take a while to get an ear for it, or you're just natural?
I think
You've been in music for years though, so you
I think there's
probably-
a natural aspect to it, but because I've grown up around guitars and have played it that long, I can just pick one up and I won't always get it exactly in tune with, officially like that's meant to be an E.
Aye.
I can get it close, but what's important is that you have it in tune with itself, if you know what I mean. So that might be slightly away from an E, but all the other strings are in tune compared to that.
Right.
So as long as it sounds...
Because when I first learned the guitar a wee bit, although I can't do it anymore, I used an app on my phone to tune it.
Yeah, that's perfectly...
And that's
fine
because
way to do
I
it.
couldn't do it that way. Obviously, I think I probably could, like anything with a bit of practice.
Yeah.
Playing for a while, no doubt you learn it.
Oh, yeah.
But at the moment, I'm like, you could play a tune with, is that an E? I don't fucking know what it is. So am I not close enough to this?
Just lean in a wee bit. I will be alright.
Because I've got the guitar as well. I'm in all sorts of awkward positions here.
Right, so I'm going to teach you a D chord, right?
Right.
So I want you to take your pointy finger.
That one.
That's the one. And that's going to go on the third string in the second fret.
All right, third. That one.
Yep. Then I want you to take your middle finger. That's going to go on the first string in the second fret.
Right.
Second fret, so just directly under your other.
Is that?
Still, no, that's the third fret, so you want to have them like this, sort of
No,
on top of each
start
other.
again then. It's the first one. First one's up there.
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
So they're on the same.
They're in the same fret, just different strings, yep.
Right.
And then your ring finger.
Aye, all right, I'm single. Don't sure about it.
That goes on the second string and the third fret.
Right.
Yep, that's you. And then only strum from the fourth string down.
or down's up.
So don't hit the two thickest strings.
Right. All right.
So just there you go.
What's that?
It's a D.
That's a D. So how many chords are we learning for this? So I'm finding that quite sore already because I've not done it for a while, but that's just part of the learning, isn't it?
I'm going to say probably 4 chords. We're going to simplify the song.
Right.
Right, I'm going to take bits of it out.
Right. You're going to take the na 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 na.
No, that bit's quite easy, but see like the chorus, so you get like the minute you let her under your skin and you begin to make it.
So maybe Kris, here's a thing. Just for this podcast, this one, you can show me a wee bit of it, and then you can teach me it.
I'll do it
out with the podcast.
Just because there's some
This
other...
should be like doing this for 3 podcasts in a row would be a bit.
I know, I'll cut it down to like highlights.
Aye. but we can learn it, then you can,
we'll
maybe
do
film it as we're learning it, then you could like,
aye.
you know what I mean, do it that way.
But what I was saying, there's a couple of...
having 5 podcasts and just be learning the guitar.
Aye, we'll maybe throw every so often, we'll do a wee...
Aye.
Even if it's just a section within another episode where we do it.
Aye.
I'm just saying there's like some awkward wee chords when you come into the chorus section. So like... And anytime you feel the pain, hate you, refrain.
No, he wants me to do that.
Unless you want to pick another song.
No,
I'm going to try and simplify it down so you don't need to play all these chords.
So can we simplify it then get more complicated as I learn it a bit more?
Yeah. Because there's like some of these chords that you don't need to do. So like for example, that I've just taught you is the first chord. Hate you.
Right.
The next chord we're going to learn is an A. So that's don't make it bad. I'll come back to that. What you should really do then is play an A7.
Right.
Which I probably will get you to do because that's just taking a finger off, right? So that's don't make it bad.
Right.
Take a sad song. That's just taking one finger off.
Right.
That's easy.
Like,
So-
I've got the whole lot now. Look.
So,
See, I know it's all right. It's all within.
all right, end the show. See you next week.
So here's the White Album.
Right, show me the D chord
Oh
again.
shit! So second fret, third, fifth. What was the other one?
Yep.
Bottom.
The second string, 3rd fret.
Right. Because even that takes a wee while for me to get used to just that simple. And
Yep.
is that right? So what's that?
That's a D.
Right. Can I join a band now?
Some bands that you're already beyond. Oasis, for example.
Oh, come on. Come on, fuck. Hey. That's how they fell out because you didn't like them. Kris Penn doesn't like us. I'll just split them in.
Is that wee baby in Glasgow? Is what they said. What year did they split up? Like
I don't know.
2005?
2000.
No,
I don't know if it was as long ago as that, was it?
I think around then.
Is it about? It's as long as that. Because I went to a concert about 2000. Like I seen them in 2000 in Murrayfield, and there was one a few years later, 2002 or 3 or something. I seen them.
When did Oasis? 2009, surely not.
I thought it was later than that. Aye, so 15 years ago.
I thought it was earlier. Anyway,
see, I'd have thought that.
the group abruptly disbanded after the departure of Noel Gallagher in August 2009.
Aye. Where did they? Have they found them yet?
No, he's just departed. But he's not arrived anywhere.
Maybe he's on one of the flights that just disappeared. That Malaysian Airlines.
He's in my grand's cupboard. Hey.
Hey.
If you know, you know.
That's callbacks to his stand-up set, which means like so you had to be at the gig, but you weren't there, so funkies. Well, some of you might have been there.
Unless you were, then thanks for coming.
Some of them. Murray was there. Murray watches us, so he was there.
So was my dad. Hiya.
Hi, Chris's dad was
Get
there.
you on. He's not read your book yet. Fuck's sake.
I've read a chapter.
Right, on to an A chord.
Right. Hold on, see if I can do this one again.
Yep.
So 3, 2, and what did I do with this finger?
Yep. Second string, 3rd fret.
So that's a D.
That's a D.
Right. So learning chords is a start for me. I could practice a wee bit when I get home as well with my guitar. Lad. That's a D. Right.
Yep. Right, so I'm going to go to A now. So pointy finger is going on the 4th string in the 2nd fret.
Right there. Right.
Yep. Next finger goes in the same fret, just the string under.
Oh no, that's difficult.
And same. So if you look at my hands, they kind of go in a wee diagonal line. So they're all going to go in the same fret. Everything's in the 2nd
So
fret.
the 3rd one as well.
Yep, everything in there. So you squeeze them all into the same.
Right.
and then just from the 5th string down, so you don't play the bottom string, but everything else. Yep.
So see for you, that's just automatic. You don't even need to think about that.
Yeah, I don't even really play it like that. I just do a sort of cheat where I kind of just cover them in a line like that.
All right, but
That's a bit more advanced, you know.
so you can do that and no touch the bottom one.
I kind of mute the bottom one, so the bottom one doesn't really ring, just because of the way my fingers are sitting. So I'm playing.
What's the
You just don't-
difference?
It just means you're not hearing that E. That's an E note.
Does that not affect the note bit? That's what I mean.
No, because you're still getting these ones. Again, it depends on the sort of style of the song. Sometimes it suits the song to be a bit more open and more notes ringing out, whereas whereas if I'm playing like a
We can show that after. Look at it.
oh dear, right,
Because I thought that if you missed one out, the note wouldn't happen, but no.
aye, but this isn't like a hard and fast rule. This is just what I happen to do.
Right, all right.
There's no-
I'm just gonna.
This is like a comedy equivalent of, you know, you saying to somebody, I don't know, some kind of mic technique, or
Aye.
maybe if somebody's standing, not taking the mic out,
Aye.
and you're like, oh,
so
you
does
should
it
do
affect
this.
it much?
No, it's just a stylistic choice, you know.
right.
But for
The
the sake,
sound's no much different then.
no.
So this is,
These are these 3 notes, the ones that you've got your fingers on. So
So is that
the other-
right? Have I got it?
yep,
So this is A.
that's A. Right, so now you want to practice going between the two. So you want to go from D to A.
Right, what was D? See, I think this is what I found difficult. So what was D again? Takes me a wee while even remembering.
1st string, 2nd fret, so just under it.
Right.
Yep. And then 2nd string, 3rd fret. Yep, that's it.
And you're missing top 2.
Yep.
And then you're coming over there.
Then you've got the A. Yep. Yep.
Right. Well, I missed out the top one.
That's it. Yep.
See, this is giving me a sheer head because it's like it's like anything new. It's kind of, you know what I mean. It's very,
You
very,
need
very
that
beginners.
determination to keep doing it, so you can get
Oh,
to the
aye.
point where you can go.
It's kind of like yeehaw.
It's like what's that Buddy Holly song? Is that like Peggy Sue? If you knew Peggy Sue,
Does that you just swap between the two?
why I feel good about Peggy,
Right.
my Peggy Sue. That was, see, when I first learned guitar,
Aye.
mostly learned from my papa, right? And he had here's a wee story time break, right?
Aye.
He had a guitar kind of lesson class that he ran
Right.
in Cumbernauld, and everyone would learn sort of the three or four basic chords, right? So you'd have your D, your A, maybe a G, and like an E.
Right.
Most songs you can do around those chords,
Aye.
right? But you know, like him being from his generation, he would do a whole load of Buddy Holly songs, right? So see, when I was like 9 years old,
Aye.
probably even less, about 7. I started learning when I was 4, right? And then when I was 7, there's a whole story about how I joined a school rock band, right? We'll get into that another day.
Aye.
But
You can tell us at the egg as well.
what time am I? 38. I'll maybe tell you, but basically,
There's only so much learning I can do in an hour. It's like
well, that's, your main thing today is to learn going between those, practice going between
right.
these
So
two chords.
as a first lesson, like I would learn that, go away and learn that.
Yeah, and then come back and hopefully you can
Right,
go
so-
quicker between these two.
So is that my first lesson then? If I could do that,
That's your homework for this week.
right, I can do that. So right, let me just go over it again.
That's it.
Maybe need to send me pictures of that because that's
Yeah, I'll send you, like, do you know when you learned before, did you get the wee diagrams?
Aye. So
Like
send
that?
me that. I'll practice when I get home.
That's like
Aye.
your D shape and your A shape.
So do
there.
you want me to practice D and then going between them? That's my
Yeah,
first
so
lesson.
just strum like 4 of each, right? So you just do like D, D. Do it slower so you can try and do it like
Oh no.
steady rhythm, right? So try and do like, and then
And I can't get. Then it's.
I know you can't change that fast just now, but with some practice that
So how
should
do
come.
see? It's remembering where I'm going. I know eventually just stuck in your head, but at the moment I'm kind of going. Where I feel. You find that when you're like learning anything new.
Aye, there's
You
like a
feel
Rubik's
like
cube.
Aye, well, aye, you feel like a total idiot because that's the simplest thing in the world for you. But for me, I'm going, where's that finger going again?
But I've been doing that for over 20 years.
Aye.
It's like you standing up and doing comedy and getting a room of people in the palm of your hand.
Aye.
I can't fathom how to do that.
Aye.
But you do it without thinking.
Because I don't need to think about it. I can walk into a room with nothing.
Yeah.
And kind of I go, all right. And you've just worked out how to play Hey Jude, just be looking at that and just because you can.
Aye.
So I'll practice DNA. See, even remember what it is. Is it what DNA? So is that my homework? So if I get...
I'll send you those wee diagrams
Right.
for the thingies. But yeah, I want you to learn.
Aye.
Just practice going between 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
So I can start playing Hey Jude from that.
That's the first two chords. So basically, playing those 4 strums of each, that would be Hey Jude, don't make it bad.
Oh, right, okay.
And then the next thing is you take your middle finger off there. And it'll be take a sad song.
Is that
I'm going to
the...
give you the finger.
So is that the
That's the third chord. That's an A7.
well, let's say 7. See, what does that mean? I don't even know what that means. So we get eight,
And yeah, the theory of it is like there's intervals between each note, right? So it's to do with the distance, tonal distance between the notes.
right,
It's called an interval.
right.
So when you play an
So
A7,
is it in between an A and a B? There's an A7. Is it something like that? No.
no, it's to do with like, so see when I play an A, right? The root, the core of an A is these 3 notes, right? No, these 3,
Right.
right? When I play a 7, it sounds like. So the only difference there is this note becomes.
Fucking hell.
Again,
Jeez.
I'm not much of a teacher, so the theory isn't.
Aye,
I
aye.
can't explain the theory too well, but
Aye.
there's a 7 of every chord, right? So like an A to A7 sounds like this. A D to D7 sounds like this.
Aye.
There's like a characteristic to it that's the same. So a C to C7 would be like.
So did you get C6, C5 or anything like that, or is it just 7s?
You do. That's a whole other thing.
So
I'm not even going to get into it. 'cause
So
I can't
simple's
picture it off
good.
the top of my head.
So and that's I think like I believe anybody can learn anything.
Yeah.
But it's just breaking it down into simple steps. So I'm a total idiot when it comes to music at the moment.
Yeah.
So that's just a very basic thing I need to learn, and that'll take me ages to learn. Well, it won't take me ages, but a few hours just sit and practice, and I'll be able to do that, and then we could go to the next step.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it, just break it down.
So like when I teach you these chords, I've taught you D, I've taught you A. You can figure out an A7 on your own by just taking the middle off.
Right,
Then the next one's going to be a G.
right,
There's a few ways. When I first learned a G, like a full G chord is like this.
right.
But like you learn what I would call easy G when I was wee, which is just to play these 4 strings and just that one note. Or you can play these 2 notes. Sounds a wee bit nicer.
Right.
So there's different versions you can learn to make it easier for yourself.
So the fuck it list item is to learn Hey Jude. So I'll learn Hey Jude and I'll do it in an open mic.
Yeah.
How long do you think I can do it in? See, I practice like 20 minutes a day. See if I do 20 minutes a day. Going from like struggling between A and D, D and A.
You'll easily come back to me next week, I would say, and be able to quite quickly be able to go from
Aye.
not as quick as that, but you might just be like
Aye.
Like
we
that
must
kind of
start
thing.
to-
Aye. Because as you say, it's like equally about remembering it as much as sort of getting the muscle memory of how to go between
because
them.
when I done it like years ago, and I learned, I done it with Justin Guitar, the guy was called. It was just YouTube
Yeah,
videos. It
I
was
know
pretty
that
good. And I learned, what was it, Wild Thing with the Trogs. And I found when I was doing it, I was dead slow, but just doing it, repeating it.
You get
oh, right,
it's-
okay.
as I say, it's like the same as doing the Rubik's Cube. The first time you do it, you're slow to remember all the patterns, but once you remember it, you can start to do it.
You kind of get that you get that tension.
Aye.
You get that your brain's all confused, and I think it's just like anything you learn.
Aye,
Your
but
brain's
that's
all
you like
confused.
that's you. What does it say? Like rewiring the neural pathways and all this.
So I'm rewiring my musical neural pathways.
There you go. Are we calling that now for you've got your homework to practice?
I think
this?
so. I think if you learn many more than that now, especially doing an hour of a podcast, we can maybe chat about it more.
Aye.
That's enough to learn. And if I learn more than that before I see you, I can pick up
Aye.
a wee bit more. You can send me that and what the next step is, and I'll try and learn it on my own.
Aye. Sounds good. So we'll.
But I've learned about the wee things. Like, see before, I didn't know about the wee markers on the top.
Aye,
I've
that's
got
just a
them.
handy wee
I've
thing.
got them. Obviously, got them in my
There's a-
guitar, but I wouldn't know what they're for.
Here's a quick fun wee story about them, right? My good friend Scott, not Scott that you've met, that's
Aye.
like in my band and stuff and came to the gig, another
Aye.
Scott that I was in school with and I was in bands with.
The slab.
He was, yeah, he was involved in the slab story. Let's,
They tell the slab story.
you're a fucking slab. I'll do that another day when Ainsley's here because she remembers it.
Right.
Where was I? So Scott, he plays guitar as well, right? His dad taught him guitar, but his dad's left-handed.
Oh
So
no.
his
that's a
dad
fucking-
had a. I'm going to mute the guitars. Hang on. His dad had a load of
But he's
left-handed
doing
guitars.
that's. I was going to do my rock and roll thing and wreck the both of the guitars, but I won't do that. I
be
could
it.
refuse would get it'd be worth it.
That'd have been the end of the podcast.
Aye, but that'd go viral. That'd be like Liam and Noel splitting up with the podcast after 11 episodes. Fuck this.
So my friend Scott, right, his dad was left-handed, so he had a load of left-handed guitars.
Right.
So Scott wanted to play these guitars, but he would have to take the strings off and put them the other way, because if you hold a left-handed guitar, like that string's there.
Right, aye. So,
the other way
so you can turn that guitar into a left-handed one, it's just turning the strings around, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a few wee things you need to change, but yeah, without much work, you could do it.
Aye, so you could
But
turn
the thing is, you'll notice on the bottom side, there's none of those dots.
Right.
So Scott took his dad's left-handed guitar, put the strings on the other way around, and it was like the opposite to that. So this white bit was black, like this whole bit up round the side of the neck.
Right.
And he painted the wee dots on with Tipex.
Right. Aye, so you could still do it.
I'm not sure how happy his dad was with putting Tipex all over his
Aye,
guitar.
he's good
but
with the car, aye. I see, that's weird that I never knew that. I think that's the kind of beauty of actually having somebody teaching you rather than doing it for video, because I didn't know about the wee
Aye.
dots.
You probably wouldn't think about it.
Nah.
Like, you've probably seen them and thought that's just what guitars
I
look like.
just thought it's a wee. I didn't. Is your banjo got it as well?
Probably.
Can you play that as well? Let's say this is just a wee episode of Kris showing off his music
isn't-
skills.
This isn't a normal banjo. This is what you would call either a banjitar or a gitanjo.
Right.
So it's a combination
I
of a
hate
guitar.
both of the words, but I like it.
So like normal banjos have 5 strings, right?
Right.
You see, this has got 6. And also in a normal banjo, one of the strings, the bottom string here, starts on like the 5th fret. So there's like a tuner up here. So it's like the neck is like thinner, and then it gets to like here and gets thicker, and then another string up
All
here.
right.
This is just got 6 strings and is tuned the same as a guitar.
Right,
So you could play that same D shape.
Right. It just sounds different.
It just sounds like
Aye,
This-
because
this
it's got the
gives it
banjo
that
thing.
sound.
Aye.
this isn't quite tuned the same.
So it just gives it that kind of.
But yeah, you could play Hey Jude, don't make it bad.
So it just sounds.
Take a sad song. So yeah,
Aye.
this is not a banjo, but it's
A banjo. So what do you call that then? Is it a banjo or
banjitar or a gitanjo.
is that what it's actually called?
Yeah.
I thought that just you made that up there.
No, like there's a very famous country singer called Keith Urban who like plays that,
All right.
not all the time, but he's got like a couple of songs where he plays
All
it.
right. So it's just somebody's kind of combined a guitar and a
It's
banjo.
like somebody that wanted to play a banjo but already knew how to play guitar, and they went, "Oh, I'll just put the same strings and
All right.
as a guitar on."
Just because they couldn't be asked learning how to play a banjo, basically.
Probably, aye.
I can't be asked how to play the banjo, but I like the sound it makes. So, aye.
Right, we've got 13 minutes on that camera to deal with, but we'll be fine.
That's all right, mate.
So,
That's all right.
just a bit of my musical story.
Aye, God, let's talk about your music, guy. We've not really spoken about your music. The only
I'm
time,
getting interviewed on my own podcast.
aye, so the kind of thing, like we've always kind of spoken about comedy. You've mentioned your music a few times. We've not really get into
Aye.
it too much. I've maybe pushed you a couple of times. Get yourself some gigs, you fanny.
Well, I have. I've got some coming up in the coming months.
Magic, I'll let you come along and let me know.
Aye.
So how did you start music, Kris?
I started
When you were away?
officially. I was 4 when I first
Aye.
started. In fact, going back even further, right? I told you earlier, my papa had like a guitar lesson club thing that he ran in Cumbernauld,
Right.
and that's how my mum and dad met. My dad
Ah.
went along to that thing to learn guitar, and that's where he met my mum.
Oh, so your granddad was running that?
Aye. My mum went just because it was with her dad. She went along to play songs.
Right.
And my dad went to that to
All right.
learn. So like music is why I exist.
Fucking hell, there you go. Music creates humans.
There you go.
Music created him that created this podcast.
That created that thingy with the cowboy hat.
Aye.
That fun wee gag.
That wee thing. No, that was real. That was real magic.
So, that's how my mum and dad met. And then I happened.
Aye.
And then,
How
as
did you happen? How did that work?
I was delivered by a
Stork.
stork. I was looking for the name. I was going to say a herring, but
Was that a stork playing the guitar? It went ding, 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 ding.
wait,
ding,
is a
ding.
herring a fish? A heron is a bird.
No, I heron. So herring. There's herring is a fish, is it? And then a
and
heron.
heron is a bird.
There's a heron. There's a heron fish for herring.
Oh, that's a shout. Anyway, right. So I got born.
All right, right.
And then I was surrounded, as obviously, as I say, like my mum and dad both play guitar.
Aye.
Papa
Who's the
plays
best?
guitar. Out of my mum and dad, probably my dad.
Aye.
But he like took it further and was a professional musician
All right.
through a period of his life. My mum just sort of plays.
Played for fun. Aye.
Aye. So
Yeah, I could be a professional, Chris.
one day,
One
would I be a
day.
professional comedian?
Aye.
There
Let's
you
just swap roles, right? I'll be like in a couple of years. They'll be like Chris is like a comedian, and I'm just a guy who sits in a guitar in the corner of Sucky Hill Street, begging for money.
So, as I say, I was just kind of grew up surrounded by music, and when people would just be playing guitars and that around the house, and I was always very interested. Like I'd
Aye.
go up when people were playing, and like they would like do the chord shapes on the guitar, and I'd go up and strum just as I was a wee baby, and like strum
Aye.
the strings
How
and
did
make
you
the
do
noise,
it?
like a cat pulling at a ball of yarn.
Aye.
So, and then when I was 4, I got given my first guitar that was like a wee Spanish style nylon strung thing, which is like what
Tiny
a
thing.
lot of people start on.
Still got it?
Somewhere it's in either in my papa's house or in like my mum's loft or something. It is around. I got taught basically like those chords we were doing today,
Aye.
that kind of thing, and I practiced away.
Were you as good as me my first day at your first day?
When I was 4 years old,
Aye.
there's every chance.
Aye.
Sadly, we didn't record it for a podcast
Aye.
back in 2001 or whatever. So from there, I started going to the guitar thing that my papa did
Right.
sometimes. And I remember like this guitar didn't have it didn't have a case, but it was like a cardboard box that my papa had like cut and put back together in a certain way, and it had like
Aye.
a wee handle made of string.
See that's what I like about things like people. It's just rough as fuck for how people start things that I turned out with my fucking.
I have my wee cardboard box like everyone
Aye.
else, like with their mad, like that big hard case, like unclipping it, and it's like a whole unveiling. I was like, cardboard box, here we go, guitar.
It's like Stephen Hendry's snooker cue was like £7 that won him 7 world championships.
Is that right? Aye,
It was just that like just a shitty cue that he used, and he won like fucking everything.
I like that.
Second best player of all time with a shitty cue.
Imagine if he had
No.
a good one.
Imagine that.
So this it's a sort of very faint memory now, obviously, but this guitar thing, it was like a kind of big circular room. I think it was actually a hexagon. It was at the Abern Hill Community Centre,
All right.
and everyone would sit around the outside, and you would just go around everyone, and we all had like songbooks and stuff, and everyone would just pick a song. Everyone would play it together. Then you go around, next person picks a song, you all play it.
All right. Aye.
That's kind of how it worked. And like the first few songs I learned, right? So I learned like those chords.
Did they give you homework to do to learn that song when you get home?
No, well, not homework, but I would like want to do it anyway. If I was over at his house, I'd be like, teach me something. And that's kind of how it was. But like,
So it's handy you had the teacher, the access to the teacher whenever you wanted.
aye, pretty much. So like I learned those chords we learned today, the D, the A, and probably a G. And from that, it was like I learned "You Are My Sunshine," that kind of stuff. Was the typical kind of first song.
Who sang that again?
My papa. Do you know? See, when I go through these books, right, in his house, he's got suitcases full of books of all these song sheets and stuff.
Aye.
There's
And
all
that's how
this
they
stuff.
learned back then, wasn't it? Now people
That's
learn
it.
on videos and stuff.
But see those, when I hear all these songs when I was
Aye.
wee, I just thought he wrote them all. So like I thought like "You Are My Sunshine." I was
Did
like,
he tell you
that's-
that?
That's
Aye.
Papa's. No, I just assumed it.
All right.
But even now, like I'll hear, see if I'm listening, going down a mad, old country rabbit hole.
Aye.
I'll hear like an old Hank Williams song or something that I've never heard the real version of, but I've heard him play it.
Aye.
So I just assumed it was like, I thought that was a him song. I thought that was a Papa song. It was like "Hello,
Aye.
Mary Lou." I thought he wrote
Aye.
that. There's all sorts of stuff like that.
It was like that. You ever watched there's a Nicholas, the guy, Rodney,
Nicholas Lyndhurst.
like Nicholas Lyndhurst. He done I can't remember the name of it. Good Night, Sweetheart. Did you ever watch that?
No.
So basically, he was a time traveller.
Right.
So basically, he went back and in his house, there was a bit out in his back garden. Go back and in there, he would end up in like the 1940s during the war,
Right.
and he was basically having an affair with a woman for the 40s.
Right.
So he like started playing the guitar and all that in the 40s. doing Beatles songs. And
All right.
like he claimed they were his, so he became like a famous singer. Well, like, he could have done quite well in the music business because he was.
Have you seen Yesterday?
Aye,
Is it
I've
the
seen that.
kind of modern version of that
Aye,
kind of story.
That was really good. Aye, just done all the Beatles songs.
Aye. So like he like gets hit by a bus or something during a blackout,
Aye.
and then when he wakes up, nobody remembers the Beatles or nobody's ever heard of the Beatles.
Aye,
So he like,
Aye,
but he
aye.
remembers all the songs, so he
Aye.
starts like playing them, and folk are like, "Fucking hell, you wrote that!" And then he starts
aye.
putting them in.
And he
as
meets
his own.
John Lennon, who's still alive in it.
Aye.
So he kind of tracks him. I don't know if he tracks other Beatles down, but he tracks down John Lennon,
I can't.
and he's quite happy.
It's
They thought,
years
"Ah."
ago since I watched
Aye,
it,
it's
and
a
then
good
somehow
movie.
Coca-Cola doesn't exist
Aye,
because the Beatles didn't happen. or
aye.
something.
So it's like a mad parallel universe or
Aye.
something, isn't it? Aye, that's quite good. I can't. Aye.
Good film. Right, well, I've got 7 minutes on that camera. I'll try and 6 minutes. I'll try and condense because we're at the hour anyway.
Aye.
But, I'd go to these guitar things as a wee guy. Everyone's sitting around with their mad expensive proper guitars, and there's me with my wee Spanish
Aye, hey.
singing Buddy Holly. Oh boy, that was my jam when I was wee.
Aye.
So
How's that one go again?
oh my love, oh,
Oh,
my
aye,
kissing,
aye.
you don't know what you made. I'm missing, oh boy.
Is that what he said when he was playing music? sorry, buddy.
Oh boy, we're gonna crash. So that was when I was 4. I started learning.
Aye,
Then when I was in primary 4, so that would have been like 7-ish.
aye.
I'd never done any music stuff in school. Like when you're in primary school, music's just like you go into the music room, sit down, get
You get the plonky things.
plonky things. You get maybe an occasional recorder, but that wasn't till later.
Triangle.
Triangle, or just like they just play a song and you sing along with it, right?
Aye.
Load of shite. But we had one of the deputy head teachers, Miss Mullen, Jackie Mullen.
Oh, Jackie Mullen.
She came in.
I used to get with her.
She popped her head in my primary 4 class one day and said, "Hiya, I'm starting a school rock band. Does anyone play a
Aye.
guitar or does anyone play instruments?" And I was like, "Yes."
This is my big
Now,
break.
But right, you might struggle to believe this, but I was a wee dick in school, right?
Aye.
So
No, I totally believe it.
So like my teacher was like, "Very good." And I was like, "No, I do. I play guitar. My papa taught me. I've been playing for years." And this teacher that popped her head in was like, come and show me. I've got a guitar in my office." So I said to my teacher, "Can I steal him for a wee minute just
Aye.
to do this?" And my teacher was like, "Please fucking take him."
Get him to fuck.
So I went out, and another friend of mine, Derek, in the class.
Oh, Dale.
Derek Brown. Aye. Oh, there's the camera away. Right.
Like, you just keep going and like, I'll not be in this. You'll still hear me, won't you?
Aye.
Because we're nearly at the end anyway,
Aye,
aren't
when
we?
I'm at the end, right, I'll finish my
Because
story.
we done that episode a few weeks ago when you weren't in it, so it's alright.
Aye, but my name's not in the tin.
It's alright, yeah, like a mistake, but this is about
Yet.
you, so it's alright, I'm
This
quite
is-
happy.
So here's my wee musical story, right? So my mate Derek,
I'm still here.
my mate Derek stuck his hand up as well, and he was like, "I'll play the guitar as well." He'd never mentioned this, but she brought him as well. So we went into her office, she handed me a guitar, and she was like, "Right, what can you do?
Show me what you got.
Show me what you got. This is your big shot, boy," is what she said.
Aye.
No, she was just a nice lady. So I just took guitar and I played like those chords we did. I was like, this is a D, this is an A. I knew plenty of chords at
Aye.
this point. And then I was like, I can put them together. I can play a song. I probably played Oh Boy because that was
Aye.
my jam at the time. Had a wee, 7-year-old Buddy
Aye.
Holly jam.
Did you
She was
sing
like,
as well?
Aye.
Aye.
So she was like, "Brilliant. You're in the band, boy." She wasn't black.
That's why I'm not in this now. It's turned racist now, so.
Aye. So also, right, so I was in primary 4. This was 2004. The film School of Rock came out in 2003.
Oh, aye, I think I remember that, aye.
Which to this day is still like, I saw that not long after it came out,
Aye.
and it's like changed my life to this
Aye.
day.
Oh,
It's
really? Aye.
still
aye.
my joint favourite film now, alongside the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, fuck off. I had a bit of respect for you there.
2 greatest films ever made. So she started this school band, and another wee anecdote, Derek took the guitar and was like, "This one's a D," whatever. He just put his hands on it and went, "Blah," and they played fuck all, and me and the teacher sort of looked at each other and we were like,
He's full of shit, isn't he?
which he was at the time, but in fairness to him, he did actually pick it up and learn and went on to do music.
Alright.
So
So that humiliation could have spurred them on.
I think it was that. I think he'd maybe picked it up a few times and wanted to learn, and that was sort of ease in, and that's how he went on to learn. So that was fine. So the band started, right. The reason I tell you the School of Rock thing is because my school was called Whiteley's Primary School, right, and the band got called the Whiteley's School of Rock because this was the
Right.
this was the whole thing. It was the rage at the time. So it's at first, right, there was another boy in my year, Jack. He played drums, so he was the drummer.
He was like the
But the rest,
Ringo Starr.
he was the Ringo. But the rest of the School of Rock at this point was just like 15 people playing acoustic guitars. It was more of a guitar ensemble, or like just a big guitar club where everyone played. It wasn't even like some people would play the rhythm and somebody would do like a wee solo here and there. It was just a big group of people playing the same song.
Alright, so they could all play it?
Aye, to varying levels
Aye.
of goodness, right? But we did that for like a few years. I think maybe 2 years, and then that teacher, Miss Mullen, she left, got a job at another school or whatever, and we were like, there's no band anymore. What are we going to do? So we come back from the next summer, and there's a new teacher, not in her place, but just a new like.
Paul
classroom
McCartney
teacher.
turned up.
Not quite. His name was Tom Benham, right?
All right.
And he, apart from being a primary teacher, happened to be in a wedding band outside of that. So he was very quickly tasked by our head teacher at the school, Mrs. K. She always pushed for the music stuff. She was a huge music fan.
Aye.
And in those days, I don't know so much now, but there was not really anything musically going on in primary schools.
Nah, there was nothing in my school.
No, there's probably a wee bit more now, but like she really pushed this and it became a big focus. So when he came in and was a drummer in a wedding band, she was like, we've got a rock band in this school, you need to take over them and be like the band teacher, which he did. And he took it from being like just a group of folk playing and turned it into more of a band, right? So
All right, so he was better than the other woman.
Well, it was how it sort of started it, but he turned it into like more of we had somebody that was playing guitar got put on bass and they learned bass guitar.
Right.
Somebody else played keyboards. I got moved from acoustic guitar to an electric guitar.
Yes.
I was the lead guitarist,
Aye.
air quotes. All that meant was I played the same thing but on an electric guitar. I didn't play like solos or anything at the time. And then there was less acoustic guitars. And we learned, so like Ainsley joined this band as well, just as a singer, because we went to primary school together.
Aye.
And that turned into like in the old days when it was just the acoustic stuff, it was more sort of not just sort of old kind of classic or like maybe some Beatles songs here and there. But when the new band came along, it became like we picked like sort of songs that we liked.
Aye.
And do some modern stuff. We're over the hour, but there's two really fun, weird things about this band that I want to tell you.
Go for it.
So at some point,
this is your podcast.
Yes, I'll be the guest.
You're more of the guest. This one, I've learned a wee bit of guitar. Now it's your story.
So
people need to know the guy behind the podcast.
They need to know. So, I think in about primary 5 or 6, probably 6, there was a whole thing. I don't know if it was just in North Lanarkshire or if it was all of Scotland, but there was a big push in schools to be eco-friendly. This became a pure big thing, right? They would be like, do you remember eco flags? You drive past schools and they had big green flags waving.
Was it? No.
That was like a whole initiative where like people would come and inspect the school and see how eco-friendly you are, and if you would get rewarded by having a big massive green flag. I don't know how it worked, right? But to tie this in with the band, like the head teacher and I think Mr. Benham, for whatever, and maybe Scott, my pal Scott with the left-handed guitar I was telling you about, he was like in the band as well, and he was kind of one of the lead singers and played guitar. They took the song, we used to play Imagine by John Lennon,
right,
and they rewrote the lyrics to that to be like eco-friendly. Like I can't remember any of them, but just it was something along the lines of like, imagine there's no letter, all this kind of shit, right?
Aye.
We rewrote the full
Imagine
version.
people picked up their dog shit, stuff like that.
You're honestly not far off. This was the kind of stuff. So, because there was all these like school and education events and conferences, like because we were a like 8-year-old rock band and quite a novelty, so we would get sent to all these like education conferences and like council stuff.
You time off school for it?
Oh, I'll come back to that. I don't remember doing any work in the last 3 years of primary school because this band was like touring pretty much. So we wrote this. I say we. Somebody wrote this version of the song that we would do at these eco events, right?
Aye.
And for whatever reason, the head teacher wrote to Yoko Ono.
No way.
And said, "I'm the head teacher of a primary school in Scotland. I've got this band, and we have rewritten an eco-friendly version of your late husband's classic song."
What do you mean late husband?
Because he's dead.
Who is?
John Lennon.
No. John Lennon's dead, Yoko. Oh no.
This is you're not even being
I'm
recorded.
on the camera. Get a photograph of me.
This is why your name's on the tin. So she told Yoko Ono in this letter or an email or whatever, I think it was a letter, that we had this. And I don't know if she asked for permission for us to like play it or something.
Right.
But she fucking wrote back.
Aye.
Yoko Ono wrote back to my primary school, to my band, and said, I don't know if I've ever seen the letter, to be fair. I think it was something along the lines of, aye, that's cool. You don't need my permission to like cover a song, just don't like record it and release it. Because that's a whole other thing, obviously.
Aye.
There's copyright involved and whatever. So every time we would go to all these events and my mate Scott, who was the singer, had to be like, we wrote this version of this song and we wrote to Yoko Ono and she was happy with it and said we're allowed to do this. Thank you. So that was the whole thing, right? We went on the Fred Macaulay show.
I remember that.
On the BBC
McCoy's
radio.
the Macaulay. No, the radio show.
It's a BBC radio show.
Right.
It was like one morning we turned up to school and there was a wee minibus. Took through to BBC studios.
That's brilliant.
And,
Fucking fame.
We were on the radio. Weird stuff like that.
On the Jonathan Ross show and all that.
I didn't quite hit those heights. But right, so the last daft wee obscene story about this band, right? When we were in primary 7, there was a whole push for, do you remember Fair Trade? Was a whole thing, right?
That's still a thing, isn't it?
It's still around, but it was a pure massive thing in like 2007, 2008. About, if you don't know, it's this, you would see products in the shops like coffee and chocolate with this wee badge on it. Like a wee guy doing this. Not a Hitler.
That basically means like, they haven't exploited.
Aye, it means fair trade. So the farmers and whatever got a fair share of money for this.
And they don't pay
product.
like kids in China like £1 a week to do it.
Aye, they probably did, and it was its own big fucking scam. I don't know, but there was that was like the whole primary 7 project that year was studying fair trade, and we had to make. There was like a wee tuck shop. We would buy in the fair trade chocolate and sell it in the school as a tuck shop. All this kind of stuff, right? And again, to get the band involved, we had to write a fair trade song, right?
Fucking hell.
And again, I think it was like the head teacher in that, Mr. Benham, that wrote it, and they gave it to us. See, when I'm old and senile and riddled with dementia, that song will still be in there.
Aye.
Ainsley again was in the band. She could come out here right now. We could sing it word for word. Do you want it?
Can we finish off the episode with you playing this song?
Well, there's a wee bit to the story. But
I tell a story first, but we'll finish it. Does that work? We finish the episode. You play the song.
I don't want to. It's fucking.
Come on.
I'll do it. I'll do
Hink
it.
of the views. Hink of the views.
I'll do
man.
a bit of it.
Right. I'll do a bit. Yeah.
I'll do it in the banjo as well because that'd be funny.
Right. I want to take it serious, but
anyway, right. So we wrote this song about fair trade, and again, all these conferences and stuff that we get sent to. Sometimes we get like sent to like other schools to entertain them.
aye.
During like school hours, as I was saying,
That's
like,
amazing.
like especially primary 7. I don't think I learned a thing. We were like always out at like rehearsals. We'd stay after school for like 2 hours, one night every week, and we'd have a rehearsal. But like even out of that, we'd be sitting in maths on a Monday morning, like, and then the head teacher would pop in. She'd be like, "I need the band. We're going to this school, or we're going to this."
How was other students with their aging?
I'll come back to
They're
that.
like, fucking get up, you.
I'll come back to that because there's a especially fucked up thing that happened to the other people, right? So, as I said, it was like the whole project for primary 7 to have this whole big fair trade thing, right? So, the local college, Cumbernauld College, got involved. They heard we had this song because we played it at all these events. Probably, I think there was one that was in the college. And
I look forward to hearing this song now.
There's a recording of it, right? So this is what I was saying.
I need to hear that, man.
The college got involved and said like they do a music course at the college, so they've got like studios and stuff. So they were like, bring them in, we'll record it.
Aye.
Like a professional studio. It was recorded by students, but it was good. So we went for a day in the Cumbernauld College studio as a group of 10-year-olds. We went in and recorded this song, and then like the film studies students came and like recorded a wee documentary of us, like a day in the studio. It felt like
that sounds like Band-Aid. Like,
that's what it was like. It was like that, and then
do they know it's Christmas?
I think we did play that at a Christmas show at one point. But so we recorded the song, this wee daft documentary, and because it was a full project for the whole year, the whole fair trade thing, right? Some other pupils in our class got invited to the college because they had like a chef school in the college. So there was like a sort of chef's kitchen with I'm not going to say a mock restaurant. It's a real restaurant, but they used it to train chefs and they had a restaurant where they could serve food to people. So they got non-musical pupils from our class into that kitchen with like chef teachers to teach them how to cook, and they cooked a 3-course meal to bring it out and serve to my band.
Oh, so they get fuck all.
Well, no, I think they got to eat it after, but the whole thing was like that day we were in the studio like fucking rock stars recording this song,
and the rest of the pupils are making your dinner with their raging.
Like every day we get called out of class during bloody maths to be like, right, the band are going to do this, and they'd all be like, oh, these fucking dicks getting sent out of class again. And then they were like, right, you can come out of class, but it's to make them dinner.
Fucking divas, man, divas.
So there is like a CD and a DVD of that somewhere that's like a proper Band-Aid style video from me and Ainsley and our pals when we were 10 years old.
And it sounds a bit like this. You playing it? You going to play it for us?
Aye.
Yes. So we're going to end the episode with this. I've not been in the episode for the last 10 minutes, but we'll get this will be good.
Find a cable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Can I film it for TikTok?
No. I'll put it out. I'll put a clip of it out.
Aye.
This is fucking embarrassing, right?
Sounds alright so far.
This isn't how it sounded when I played it when I was 10, but
Can you not do it as if you were 10?
oh, squish my buzz. I actually might need to change the key because I used to sing it in this key.
Right.
What's it like? Should I sing it in my wee primary school Scottish voice?
Aye.
This was actually my mate Scott's line, right?
Yeah.
What's it like to be poor yet to work hard? What's it like to grow food yet starve? What's it like to look around yet see no picture? What's it like to look around and see no future? We need to learn these lessons. I sound like a baby Biffy Clyro. We need to learn them fast. We need to work as one.
Yes.
Come on now, everyone. Well, you can tell this is in my prepubescent singing key. We need to work. I need to change it. I need to change my key.
Right, back.
Right, this is going to be quite jarring because I'll fucking edit that out. But where did I get to? Right, I'll go in the chorus. Right, so we need to work as one. Come on now, everyone. We need to work together to stop the suffering forever. We can paint a better picture that will promise them a future fair trade.
Yeah.
So that was the...
I think that's got a #1 single written all over it.
Let me tell you. I don't know if this is true, right? But we got told that as part of like a charity thing through fucking UNICEF or something, that song got like released in the African charts and apparently went to #1 in Uganda.
Aye.
I don't know if that's true.
How do we check that? Can we check that?
I don't know. So there's a chance. I was the lead guitarist on a #1 song in Uganda.
Aye.
I don't think that's true.
So let's like we can end the episode, but we can check that in the comments. We'll decide. We'll work out if we can actually if that actually happened or not. We'll try and track it down.
What I will say is there's a picture. Somebody put it on Facebook recently because they found like the old CD and the sort of cover art is just a picture that was taken in the studio that day, and it's like we're just in our wee school uniforms, and you can see like me and Ainsley are like front and centre. It's funny.
I need to see it.
So, what else was there? There's probably more stories will like come back to me as we do more podcasts.
Aye, we can keep that.
But what I'm saying is, I peaked when I was 10.
You'll peek again, Kris. You'll peek again.
I'll peek through somebody's bedroom.
Right, I'll peek through your window.
Right. Sorry about the camera issues again. That's
all right.
I think it just overheated because it's been on for hours doing 2
So
episodes.
we've done
but
2 episodes a day. The thing is, it was like it worked too well because it was like you that was talking anyway. It was like more about your story. The day we got a wee bit about me trying to learn DNA, which I'll practice, and we'll come back in a few episodes eventually when I learned a wee bit more, just as a wee extra bit.
So this comes out after your first festival show, but it comes out on the day of the Blackfriars one.
All right.
So if you're watching this in the morning of the 28th of March,
There might be tickets left. So
you should do that. I'll be there.
Chris is coming. He might even get you on to play that song, Chris.
Ainsley will be there as well.
I get you and Ainsley to do the song.
I can't believe I've just sang Fair Trade. Do you know, we used to play this at like every gig. You won't believe how many gigs this band played, right? And like our parents would come to a lot of them. Me and Ainsley's mum, we don't have the same mum. Me and Ainsley's mums.
That'd be a bit fucked up, isn't it?
Me and Ainsley's mums had like a choreographed dance routine to that song because we played it so much.
Aye.
It was mad. There's another story I'll tell you another time about it.
Cool.
Yes, thanks for watching. Come to his show on the 28th.
If you missed seeing me in the last 15 minutes of this episode, you can come to see my show tonight. And well, tonight depends when you watch it in Blackfriars. If there's tickets left,
Might be sold out.
there might be some. But thanks for listening.
Yes, we'll see you next.
And Chris's album will be coming out in a couple of weeks.
Right. Bye.